What's good, y'all? It's your good sis Erica Vane back again with another amazing All-American video. And in this video, we talking about episode 3 from season 4. Let's get into it. The episode opens with the Toledo State coach sitting in Spencer's living room, ready to give him the good news that he wants Spencer to join the team this spring during training and prep to be a true starting freshman by doing so. He gives Spencer the night to make the decision, and the rest of the episode walks us through the day until Spencer decides. We catch up with Jordan, who is showing his dad, Bully Bean Baker, his newly edited highlight reel to try and bake more recruitment offers, and now Jordan wants his father's feedback on what else he can do to enhance his chances. I'm really looking forward to seeing more from Jordan this season because every time his love of football or desire to go D1 pops up, I'm instantly taken to a place that this matters to you today, Jordan. Jordan switches up his passions and his focus as much as he changes his draws, and while this senior year is winding down, it has forced him to think about what's next. I'm looking forward to seeing him commit to these thoughts of future planning and dedicate himself to creating a life for himself that he can be proud of, instead of just coasting along with his pretty, privileged, and Beverly Hills entitlement. Asher is coming to grips with not being able to play football in this episode, and his resident coach mama still has his back by offering to have him help with coaching on the sideline in the coming up All-American game. But more on Asher a little bit later in this video. Layla summons Preach to the studio to get to the bottom of why Coop is not showing up for book studio time and what is happening with the team that she assembled, because everyone seems to be distracted, for lack of a better word. Coop is depressed and struggling with the shooting trauma, and Preach is distracted with his daughter. Y'all, the dang on child actor is actually Preach's daughter. Like, for real, for real. And he's working overnight at a grocery store to try to take care of her. Whew, child, a mess. Olivia is rocking and rolling in her new role as Spencer James's girlfriend, and this was truly Spelivia's episode. But before I get to them, I want to speak on Olivia. The first scene we see her in this episode shows her supporting Spencer through a decision that could dramatically affect both of them. She pushes him not to rethink taking the opportunity to go to Toledo early because of their relationship, because that's not even a decision or something to be called into question. I thought that this was so powerful because in the past, Olivia has struggled with the idea of people leaving her, which is something that Nurse Joy literally speaks on later on in the episodes for the chef's kiss of a full circle moment that clearly lets the audience know that Olivia is on the mend and is in a much better place than she was before, with a solid support system and means of self-validation that allows her to stand as a more whole individual in the wake of Spencer leaving in 2 weeks. The whole convo scene with Nurse Joy is amazing to me and something that I have been craving to see from Olivia's character for quite some time. Most of the conversation is about Olivia wanting to sleep with Spencer and the idea of should she or shouldn't she, and it's in that conversation that we get so much more information about Olivia as a person and what matters to her. Not only does she value her relationship with Spencer, what they have started and are building, but I also saw in that conversation with Nurse Joy more value that she sees in herself. Both Spencer and Olivia are the prize in this relationship, and it's refreshing to see teenagers talk about and realize that. While Olivia is talking and blushing with Nurse Joy about the relationship and what it means to her, Spencer is in Crenshaw confiding in Mama Grace as she points out how she hasn't seen him this way about a girl in a very long time, reinforcing how special this is for him. I love the moment between Grace and Spencer as they go from talking about Olivia to football and then them and their relationship, ultimately deciding to have a mommy and son date that is so adorable and also very needed. I think what I love most about this episode is getting a chance to see these teenagers, specifically Spencer and Olivia, because the other ones was kind of doing a lot, and we're going to talk about that. But watching Spelivia get a chance to actually just be teenagers. They are blushing about being in love, confiding in the people who they trust most, smiling, questioning, laughing, supporting, and ultimately deciding to be present and enjoy the moment right in the moment. And I love that for them. Both Olivia and Spencer have gone through so much in such a short amount of time. In this episode, Asher reminds us that it's only been 18 months since the start of the series, which means that we've seen all of these major life changes happen to them in little over a year. The trauma, the heartbreak, the grief, the loss, and so many tears. It was truly refreshing to see moments of them being unapologetically happy and just in the moment. Billy starts this episode off being ridiculous and continuing his catty bullshit with Spencer by trying to avoid speaking to him in the hallways at school, but this is quickly eradicated when Miss Grace finds out. While he is telling Jordan how he should consider a JUCO as the next option and feels validated from Jordan's immediate agreement, Grace bursts in, demanding to talk and ready to air his ass out. And I love that for her. Miss Grace came with receipts and you done lost your mind, and almost immediately, Billy admits to it being more than about Spencer training Jordan. He struggled with the idea that he failed Jordan and Spencer's training changed Jordan. From that training, Jordan got into therapy, he's playing the best football he's ever played, and even their relationship has improved, and he resented Spencer for it. And while I commend you for admitting it, Billy, I am disappointed that you let this feeling of jealousy for Spencer almost destroy y'all's relationship. And on top of that, you did not even apologize. Though you think that little public ring ceremony and speech to all of the seniors will suffice. Nah, dog, you gonna have to come harder than that. And I know that Tamia is on a self-deprecating depression tour, but when we see Preach speak to her about addressing her problems and not busying herself with minding his, she takes it far left, pointing out the very real truths about how all of her actions are affecting the people that she loves around her, and uses it to continue to sulk and dig into a deeper hole. Asher struggles in this episode to finish his college essay as he's figuring out what his plan B will be now that his football dreams have been shattered. And he and Layla end up kicking it together as she tries to distract him from the dismay and sign a new artist. I know y'all, I did say distracting and dismay. Y'all heard me. If you're liking the video so far, press that subscribe button. If you're new here, hit the subscribe button, turn on your bell notifications so that you don't miss any of my All-American breakdowns, previews, predictions, lives, and character breakdowns. You name it, I'm talking about it in the world of All-American, and I would really love it if you joined the squad, the tribe, and hit the subscribe button. Also, let me know what you thought of the episode in the comment section down below. But back to this breakdown. Spencer asking Coop to move to Toledo with him was genius. He forces her indirectly to admit her life is here in Crenshaw, but she also quickly switches the subject to Spencer and lives love life. And don't think that you slick to me, because we're going to come back to that. We're going to come back to you self-sabotaging everything. And side note, I don't know why Tamia feels like she needs to fully quit, but girl, we're gonna let you finish. Let's go back to talking about this Spelivia date. They show up to this fancy restaurant that Spencer has made reservations for them at, and Olivia is ecstatic about Castle Park across the street. He promptly cancels the reservations and pivots for them going to enjoy the arcade, photo booth, and quality time full of pure fun. And y'all, we really love this for them. And what's a date night without a few makeout sessions and all of that jazz? At the end of the night, Spencer and Olivia finally talk about sex, and just as all of us knew, they were both fine with waiting to have sex and communicate how special this is for both of them. It was truly the highlight of the episode, and I believe an important message for other teens watching to see. Y'all don't have to rush to have sex with someone to prove to them or yourselves that the love is real. Take your time, learn about each other, have fun with each other, be with each other before you decide to be with each other. I think our society is going in a direction where we trivialize sex more and more. And even in this episode, we see Asher and Layla sleep together and then shrug it off. But the act of sex is not nothing. And whether you wait or you do it intentionally and liberated, make sure that it's an intentional and thoughtful decision to do so, and not just something that you're doing to shape a perception or to be something or somebody that you aren't in that moment, because it's okay if you're not ready. Shifting gears a bit, Amina wants to know what happened to her mom, and Preach and Coop are trying to dodge all of the questions. It was Lil Mama bringing up Uncle Tyrone that had me like, y'all, where is the CPS at? Because y'all can come on and get her. Come get her real quick. This little girl about to be a problem. Okay, and now it does have to be addressed. The Layla and Asher hookup. Is it a one-time thing, or is this the start of something? I really want to know. Y'all let me know what y'all thoughts are in the comment section down below. I know we're supposed to believe that Layla being so excited about signing this new artist and Asher's enamored with watching boss mogul Layla in action throw these two into each other's arms, but honestly, it raised a red flag for me. The Layla in this episode seems like a derailing of the character that was established and reaffirmed in the first 2 episodes of this season. And then when you add on how cold and detached she was in the interaction with Coop at the end of the episode, this Layla feels more like the previous wannabe perfect, feeling less Layla that we have seen in previous seasons past, versus the healed, strong, vulnerable, and caring Layla that we have grown to see at the start of this season. Asher speaking about Layla 2.0 was good to hear, and I like that he's having these realizations, but I wish that he wouldn't have had it after the two had just slept together. It kind of taints it a little bit for me. And it's under the gaze of this familiarity that Asher actually slips up and tells Layla how Coop has quit rapping before Coop actually got the chance to. But for real, I do want to know, do y'all think that Asher and Layla sleeping together is going to be a problem, or it's going to be a thing that actually comes up in the future? Speaking of Layla and Coop quitting rapping, Layla makes an immediate move to legally sever ties with Coop, and it's completely on the offensive when Coop walks into their meeting. And while everything that she said was valid, the way that she said it was off, and it was definitely giving me the same tone that Billy had when he told Spencer about his hero complex. He was right, but speaking from a place of hurt in the hopes of hurting him. And I think that's what Layla was doing in this moment as well, which to me is not healed Layla. The Layla who herself has experienced falling into a depressed slump, pushing people she loved the most away, giving up on herself and her future, and then lashing out when those same people realized what was going on and tried to help her. They are different details, but literally the same signs and symptoms, and watching Layla handle Coop as callously as she did makes me wonder if she's really healed, and would she want someone to handle her that way? Is she still capable of mishandling herself in this way? Just a few questions that I asked, and I'm asking myself, but y'all can let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Ultimately, Asher finds his way back to his essay by the end of the episode, providing a beautiful voiceover as we see Spencer learn that Coach Dante doesn't work at Toledo anymore. While Spencer says it won't be a problem, it most definitely is, but one that we will be seeing the fallout from in the next and future episodes. Y'all, that is my full breakdown of episode 3 from season 4 of the CW's All-American. Now is your time to let me know what you think in the comment section down below. If you have yet to hit the subscribe button, now is your chance to do so. Hit the subscribe button, turn on your bell notifications so that you don't miss any of my All-American videos. And then while you're at it, follow me at ericavane.com on your favorite social media sites. I am on Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook, and sharing updates with you daily in between me posting these videos. So if you want to talk All-American all the time, you could do so with me on your favorite social media site. I will be dropping a preview for episode 4 very, very soon. So again, make sure that you're subscribed. And if you haven't already, go ahead and check out my episode 5 synopsis breakdown as I walk through what I think we're going to see in episode 5. I also want to make a correction. In my live this past Monday, I said that we will be going on hiatus after episode 5, but I'm getting more information and I think it will be after episode 7. We might be going on hiatus until February. Now, we will be going on a longer break, and I thought that initially we would get All-American Homecoming in the meantime, but that is not what it's looking like. All-American Homecoming will premiere with its inaugural season on February 21st. And I will definitely give you updates on the All-American episode schedule as they come about. If you haven't already, check out ericavane.com where I do have the All-American schedule listed as much as we know in reference to new episodes premiering, synopsis, the writers, and also who is directing each episode so that you can get more information. You can always check ericavane.com to stay in the know. It's your girl Erica Vane, and I'm going to see y'all in my next amazing All-American video. Bye!